Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Heart to Heart with Hats. Let me get this little cord situated here. I'm so glad to have you here. I'm back at my pink couch oasis, which is covered with hair because the dogs have been in here giving me lots of good company, but also lots of shedding on the pink couch, which you can totally see. Today, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm in my little purple onesie. I actually went to the gym today, and I made a post about this on Instagram about that we need to stop being so afraid to take up space, that we are meant for more than just hiding in the corner. We're meant for more than just pushing our feelings aside, and we're meant to wear a purple suit in the gym, a wrestling suit. Who cares? I was having a mental battle with myself the whole time on the way there. I was like, this is going to be too revealing. I'm not going to want to record this. Yeah, whatever. And then I got there and I was like, you know what, Hadley? Stop being so afraid. You are different. You're unique. Do you see anybody else around here in a purple suit recording themselves taking content for Instagram? No. You're an outlier. Be proud of that you're different than everybody else. So that's just my little rant for the day. Stop being so afraid to take up space. Now, we're going to get into the real reason here, the real episode. Like I said, we're doing a little mindset and identity rewiring. So this is episode 2 on that. I have my little pink notebook here if you're watching on YouTube. And I have all my notes right now. I have been just like giving myself 30 minutes a day to write down my feelings, write down my thoughts, the energy that I want to bring. And I feel like this really helps me. Instead of starting my day from with consuming, I'm starting it with creating. And once you can shift your energy over to that, I'm not perfect on it, but I'm getting better. And when I recognize myself looking, trying to get ideas from other people, I immediately go, no. I put my phone up and I'm like, sit in your own thoughts for a second here. What are you trying to create? What are views you're trying to change? And then create from that space, not from whatever you see somebody else doing. So, today's topic is 3 reasons you're not seeing results. And we're going to dive just right into it. So, this episode may be a little bit shorter just because it's 3 reasons, but I'll try to give as much depth as I can to each of them. And the first one is you keep negotiating with yourself. And what I mean by this is that you keep telling yourself it's okay. You keep putting it off till tomorrow, till next week. The second the thought comes up of you not wanting to do something, I was thinking the same thing about this podcast episode right before I sat down to do it. I was like, oh no, it's so nice outside. I could go lay outside and play with the dogs. And you know what? I was like, no, I am not doing that. I told myself that I was going to show up and do my podcast episodes consistently for the rest of the year, for literally a whole year. I have literally outline of what I want to do, what I want to talk about for the next year. And I'm going to do it because I'm not going to not do what I say. I'm not going to go against my word. And that's a lot of people's problems, is that they keep negotiating with themselves, that they keep saying, oh, but it's okay because this, or oh, there's this going on, so I can't do that. No, do the things that you know you have to do that are going to take you to the next level. When we're talking about fitness, sorry, I'm looking at my notes, so I want to make sure that I hit every point. Just as an example, always I will throw fitness in there, thinking it's okay, I didn't have time today. But the reality is you make time for the things that you prioritize. And if something, if your goal is to get into the gym and make your health a priority and lose body fat or gain muscle, but you tell yourself that you don't have time today, you're setting yourself up for success. That should already be ingrained and planned in your day. That should be in your calendar. We're not reinventing the wheel here. This is something that you have to do. It's a non-negotiable. One thing that I made all of my clients do this past week is I made them send me 3 non-negotiables for the week. And these non-negotiables needed to be things that weren't necessarily easy for them to do. It was something that may be a little bit challenging for them to get done during the week. And for example, I told them that my non-negotiables for myself were I was not going to get on my phone for the last 2 hours before bed, and I was going to meditate at least 20 minutes a day, and then I was going to go on an outdoor walk with no phone. Those are my three non-negotiables for the day. And the way that I will remember them is I will write on a little sticky note, I will do this at this time or when this happens. So for me, it was I will go on an outdoor walk for 1 hour after I finish my workday. And that's usually around like 4 or 5, and usually 5. And so I would make that a non-negotiable. I would write that down. Another one, I will meditate for 20 minutes. And I do that in the morning. So I will meditate for 20 mornings first thing when I get up. So I intentionally wake up 30 minutes earlier so I can do my morning meditation. And just a little funny side note, little tangent, I've been falling asleep. Even if I sit up, I've been falling back asleep. So something's wrong with me. I need to snap out of that. Maybe I need to like go walk around a little bit before I sit down and do my meditation. I'm not really sure. I need to experiment with that. But I've been 18 days consistent with doing that. And I'm so proud of myself. I'm on my way to 30. And then once I hit 30, I'm going to set a goal for 100 days. 100 days of meditation. And it's not just to check off a box, it's to be very intentional with myself. And if you can also do that too, remind yourself that some of the things that you're doing shouldn't be just to check off a box, just to say, oh, I did that. Like, if you have a coach, I'll just take myself for example. I'm not doing some of these things just to check off a box. I'm doing them because I know that they're going to get me to the next level. I know that it's going to be the best thing for my health. For example, 12,000 steps a day is non-negotiable for me right now because my coach said, "All right, we got to get 12,000 steps so that we can get your total activity up for the day so that we're not putting on extra body fat while trying to bump up your calories and build muscle." Okay, now that I know the why behind that's ingrained in my head, that's what I'm going to be thinking about whenever I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I don't want to get up and go do my steps. No, I do want to get up and do my steps because I don't want to put on additional body fat whenever I'm in this build season. So whenever you can sit there and stop negotiating back and forth with yourself and actually just do the damn thing because you know the why behind it, your intention behind it is strong, everything will change. Another thing. So that was fitness wise, nutrition. Oh, it's one piece of cookie. It doesn't affect anything. No, it does because it teaches your brain that it's okay to give into temptations because you deserve them. Or what did I write? I put, it does. It teaches your brain that it's okay to give it temptations because you deserve it. But the reality is, you deserve to show yourself enough respect to do what's necessary to reach your goals. Let me read that again. You don't deserve to give in to the temptations. You deserve to show yourself enough respect to do what's necessary to reach your goals. Nothing changes if you keep saying, oh, I'll do it when. Life will literally pass you by if you keep making this statement to yourself. There's no better time to do anything than right now because you're never going to get this day back. You're never going to get this moment back. And one thing that always has stuck with me is you're one decision away from changing the entire trajectory of your life. That statement alone gets me fired up. Just one decision. One simple thing you could do that could take you to the next level. And I wholeheartedly believe that my coaching program, what I offer to people, what I'm helping people overcome will change the trajectory of their life. And I've seen it happen with so many people. They've changed their mindset about not only their health, but their overall life. And they've been able to hold their ground, be strong both mentally and physically. And I think that's important. And I have experienced that myself because I've had a coach for 3 years now. And this person has not only taught me, yeah, you need to prioritize your health, but health is wealth. Without my health, I literally would have nothing. I would have nothing at all. And my mindset wouldn't be where it's at right now. I wouldn't be so goal oriented. I wouldn't be so driven. I wouldn't be so continuously wanting to learn. I wouldn't be so, what's the word I'm looking for? I wouldn't be so engulfed in the process of things and that delayed gratification that fitness and health and nutrition don't teach you. So that do teach you that you can't really learn anywhere else. That's why I do it. Anyways, not quite sure what I was talking about. Oh, another thing that I wanted to mention too is I was also negotiating with myself for not reading my 10 pages a day when I know that's non-negotiable for myself. I was like, oh, I don't have time for that today. I can do something else. No, I did. I just needed to swap scrolling on my phone for reading my book whenever I'm walking on the treadmill. And that changed everything. Just putting my phone up, putting it on Do Not Disturb, and just going and just walking and just getting in flow of reading that book. And the book itself has changed my life. So I'm looking at it right now. So I keep looking over. It's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. It has nothing to do with changing who you are. Well, it does. But it's changing your mindset, changing the way you rewire your thinking and your thoughts and your emotions. And yeah, it's pretty freaking good. Like, probably top three best books I've ever read. Highly recommend it. All right, let's get into number two because that was quite a big rant for me. You don't ask for help. This is the number two reason that you're not seeing results. I don't understand. I do understand because I've been this way. Why do we think that we're superior when we don't ask for help, whenever we do things on our own? I think it's very mature and it's very okay to ask for help. You think that you can do everything on your own and you think you know everything. We as humans think that we know how to do everything, we can do everything. Like, we're capable of doing everything. Like, we are so strong. We can do this, we know everything. The truth is you don't. You're not experienced in things that you think that you are. If you were, if you were experienced in those things, you would have already seen results right now. So, I don't get why you asking for help is such a big deal. I used to be this way too because I was like, oh, I can do it on my own. Whenever you're young too, at a young age, you think, yes, like, I want to be so independent. I want to do things on my own. And while that's cool and all, asking for help shows a really big piece of you. It shows that you're not, like, you let down what I'm trying to say is, let me think of what I'm trying to say here. Your ego is too big. If you think asking for help is a burden to other people, or that it shows that you're weak, it does show that you're weak because it shows that you think your ego's too big when it's really not. Like, you need to let down the ego. You need to ask for help on something that you don't know how to do. This is huge. This is huge, huge, huge. All right. I'll make this episode pretty short, honestly. Oh, actually, I did want to mention that I have two coaches. I have two mentors. I have a coach for my fitness and I have a coach for business, and both of them help me excel in two different areas of life. And I spend a lot of money on that. A lot of money on that. And it's worth it because I wouldn't be where I'm at without the help because I don't know everything. I'm still learning. I still learn from my fitness coach, even though I'm a coach, and I still learn from my business coach because obviously I haven't even been in business for a whole year. I don't know what I'm doing. One of the very first things I did was hire a coach for my business. Same thing with fitness. If I want to be the best, why would I not learn from the best, from someone who has done it and who has seen the results and shown it? That's my thing too. That's kind of that people will not want to ask for help or have a coach or have a mentor, is they're okay with being okay. Then that's fine. You can totally be okay with just being the bare minimum. Whenever you have a coach, you're superior because you're learning from the best. You're getting info and you're getting knowledge and you're growing in ways that nobody else around you is because, oh, I don't need help. I can do it on my own. That's easy. But yet you don't. You still look the same. Your business still doesn't make any money. Like, be so for real. So for real. Anyways, that was just a little side tangent that I needed to sprinkle in there. Anyways, number three, you don't let yourself see your potential. You don't give yourself enough time to see how much you could do. Let me rephrase that. You do not give yourself enough time to see the results that you could. Now I see this all the time. People will come to me, they want my help, and they're like, "Yeah, let's 3 months, let's do this, that, and the other." That's not enough time. That is enough time for you to try and fail, maybe one or two times. But the thing is, real results do not come overnight. They do not come in 3 months. They do not come in 90 days. If you want a full transformation, that's going to take forever. Your whole life is a transformation. That is going to take you forever. Now, I'm not talking, losing body fat. It's not going to take you forever. But becoming healthier in your lifestyle and having a better mindset towards everything, it's a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong process. So you expecting it to come overnight whenever it doesn't quite work like that, Why? You don't allow yourself time to see the full potential that you could have. If you think about, say you went to school, you first of all, whenever in we start out as kids, right? We start out in preschool or either kindergarten, and it takes us 12 grades. Think about that. 12 grades. How does that make sense? 12 grades, but by the time you graduate, you're 18. Oh, because you don't start school till you're like 5 or 6. Okay, makes sense. Not like you're stupid. No, I'm not. Anyways, you have to go through 12 grades just to finally say, oh, I did it. Like, I don't have to go to school, or I don't have to go to school anymore unless you go to college, or I don't have to listen to my parents anymore, or whatever. But in those moments, you're not thinking like, oh, I wonder what I'm gonna be like at grade 7. No, you're engulfed in where you're at right now. You want to be the best where you're at in first grade. I did, anyways. I remember when I was in first grade, we would have so many little challenges. It was like the first person to write to 1,000, like they were the shit of the class, and I was like, oh my gosh. But we would only have certain amounts in our day, certain time in our day to be able to write our numbers. They would like set timers, and I'd be like, what did you write? Like writing so fast because I was like, I want to be that first person to get to 1,000. If I'm not, I suck. And yeah, that's just been my mindset for so long. Obviously, that's transpired into where I'm at right now in life. If you can't tell, then I'm always just like, yeah, let's go, 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 go. I'm trying to be better about just like slowing down, embracing where I'm at. Anyways, the thing is like you try to be the best of where you're at in that grade. You're not thinking about, oh, what's coming next. So give yourself the potential to just, or allow yourself to have time to see that potential with where you're at. I know that didn't really make sense on my storytelling, but it kind of made sense in my head, and then I tried to tell it, and it just didn't really make sense. Anyways, one thing that I've been doing is visualizing my success, and so that's what I mean when I'm doing my meditations. I'm literally visualizing what success looks like to me. I'm like, oh no, I don't sit there like, no, that's not how it goes. Literally guided meditations on Insight Timer, hashtag plug. I'm plugging that for you. Ooh, I ate too much before I sat down here. No, I didn't. I ate what I was supposed to eat. Well, I'm eating a lot more. Like 280 grams of carbs seems like a lot to me for whatever reason. Anywho, let me get back to what I was talking about. Visualizing success. I will sit down and in my meditation, and one of the things I do is visualize like where I want to be in 10 years, or what success looks like me even tomorrow. And once you can visualize what success looks like to you, you can start to begin to live your life like that success. So, really good tip for you guys. Oh, another thing too is just stop giving up when it's hard. This goes into number 3 of, not letting yourself see your potential. When shit gets hard and you're struggling, that's where the freaking growth happens. That's where you learn and heal so much about yourself, because you've never experienced anything like that before. If shit was easy, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And that's why you don't see very many people who are fit. You see a lot more people who are overweight and fat. Because guess what? They don't give themselves enough time. They think it's going to happen easy. They think they're going to have a quick fix. They don't give themselves enough time to see their potential because they've been stuck at this place for so long. Just give it time. Give it time. Time heals everything. Time changes everything as long as you're showing up and doing that work. All right. That's all I got for you guys today. It was only a 19-minute episode. I'm looking over here at my recording. But I feel like it was a good one. And I feel like it needed to be said. All the things that I said definitely needed to be said. So take action. And you know what? If you need to take action on your health and your fitness, and you need to lose body fat, and you need to take control of your hormones, your doctors aren't helping, and you've gotten your labs done, and you feel like you feel like you know what you're doing everything right, but you still feel like crap, I can help you. I've helped so many people. So many people have come to me like, oh, I just want to feel good. I've literally had someone come to me and her liver enzymes were so skewed. They were like, you're on the verge of fatty liver disease. You literally are almost there. And I was able to help her not have that. She lost nearly 20 pounds in the process while doing that, while clearing out her liver, because your liver is the detox of everything. If your liver is backed up, everything's going to be backed up. Liver, gut, hormones, that's how it works. Start with the liver. Liver feeds into the gut. Once your gut's healed, your hormones will be fixed. Thank me later and I'll help you through it. Okay, love y'all. Kisses.